Tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow we find out. So today is our last 7-round mock draft before the Cincinnati Bengals are on the 28th overall pick and they're on the clock. So in this mock draft, this is my final prediction. Starting off right away, this mock draft actually fell perfectly for Cincinnati for the first round at least. Michael Mayer, a guy I really do like for Cincinnati. I think could go to Cincinnati here. He goes at 21, right? Well, okay, who else do I really like for Cincinnati? Bijan Robinson, he goes at 20. Oh, that kind of sucks. Forbes, he goes at 27. Deontay Banks goes here. Zay Flowers goes here. So there's a lot of players I like for Cincinnati, and they are also gone. Darnell Wright at pick 17. Now, here's something that's actually magical. Is Dalton Kincaid still on the board here at pick 28. They recently met with Dalton Kincaid. Apparently, they really like him. Kincaid's coming off an injury, but he looks to be ready to go for the season. He's the most polished tight end in this draft when it comes to pure receiving ability. He is like Travis Kelce V2. Michael Mayer is more of a run-blocking / receiving threat tight end. He's kind of like a mix of everything. That's why we do like him for Cincinnati the most, because Cincinnati likes to have their tight ends do a little bit of everything. While Dalton Kincaid, while he's not going to be a good blocker as much, he's going to be a really good receiving threat and a vertical threat. So I'm going to have them take him here at pick 28. Let's go ahead and start off this mock draft correctly. All right, second round. Now is when we get into interesting scenarios, because Darnell Washington is off the board and Sam Laporta's off the board. So I'm not going to go back-to-back tight end. I don't think they would do that in real life, and I really wouldn't do that in this mock draft anyway. Here's someone I really do like here, and it's going to be Zach. Now, Zach is easily projection is the next level. He is set it and forget it type of starter. But the problem is he is a bell cow back. Now, the reason why I say this is a problem, and I do like him, is because he is an amazing running back here. But he's not a receiving back. He can't go out and run routes. He can't do everything Cincinnati needs him to do. Now, if the situation with Joe Mixon ends up going sour, with his whole legal battle, then possibly Zach could just be a replacement for Joe Mixon, and then you move on from there. But because right now it looks like Joe Mixon will be fine, he'll take a pay cut eventually, and he'll be staying with Cincinnati, I don't see them going towards someone like Zach here for that said reason. Because of the fact they can get, there's a couple other running backs later in the draft I really do like, who are more of a receiving threat rather than just a bell cow back. Based on what we heard from Duke Tobin and Zach Taylor, they want someone who can complement Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's a bell cow back. You want someone who can be a receiver, pass blocker, run blocker, right? A little bit of everything. You can find that later on in the draft, a little bit down the line. Devin Archain is another guy. He's going to be a home run speed, just an absolute monster out of the backfield. Another guy who, again, you could take in this situation. But in all honesty, in the second round here, I'm probably looking toward cornerback to fill in for what that, Sidney Jones role right now is looking like. We have a couple good players here. 6 foot tall, 198. Second round pick is a high floor corner who has the kind of man coverage traits that should translate sooner than later. At this moment in time, let me see what his trends are sitting at. Chicago, Steelers, and the Lions. Okay. 79.5 coverage grade, 60.6 run defensive grade. We have him at this pick. We have DJ Turner, who's actually been kind of going up draft boards. He is considered a third round pick, but keep in mind we are at the 60th pick here, so we're kind of in that third round range. Tre'Davious Hodges-Thompson, I don't like him as he's 5'8", and there's nothing wrong with that, but you can't teach size at the end of the day. And if he goes against big receiver, he's going to get absolutely freaking sandwiched. Safety at this position. This is where I do like certain players like Sidney Brown. I think Sidney Brown is a really, really good player. I think a lot of people are underrating how good he actually is. Where he wins is his athleticism, versatile safety. He can do a little bit of everything, and that's really what Cincinnati needs right now. They need a safety that can do a little bit of everything. Antonio Johnson here. He's a first or second round pick. Box/slot player, bursts to close. What he can prove is playing the football. He's a playmaker around the line of scrimmage. So I feel like eventually we're going to see him drop to a linebacker position. So it's a couple players. I'll be honest with you. I'm going Antonio Johnson here. I'm going safety. I was thinking about going corner, but I think I'm going to go safety there. All right, third round. Give me Tank. Now, the thing about it, and I know I just made a whole entire argument why I'm not going with Zach, because Zach is a bell cow back in the Joe Mixon situation, but I love Tank, okay? And I think Tank will eventually become Joe Mixon's replacement. The reason why I didn't go with Zach there is because I do like other players at the position, like, of course, the safety, right? But in the third round, this is where you can go with someone like Tank, who is going to just be eventually Joe Mixon's era replacement. And in the third round, I think it's a really good pick. But, again, like I said, if I'm Cincinnati, I love Tank, so I'm just going to say Tank. But if I'm Cincinnati here, you're probably going with someone who can... If you're on running back here, you're probably going with someone who's going to be more of a pass catcher. So you're probably not going with bell cow back. Like I said, even though Zach and him both bell cow backs. The problem is, like, if I'm going with a guy like that, I'm going with someone later on in the draft. He's a bell cow back. Fifth, yeah, yeah, so I'm going, like, Deuce is a he's a receiving threat tight end. Running back, oh my god. He is a receiving threat running back, which I really do like, and I think he could be very good for Cincinnati, but you take him later. You're not taking him right now. Dwayne McBride, we just looked at him. Again, he is a 2-down back. Thing about him is, again, he can be don't expect as much of a receiver. He can be a really good back, but again, we need a receiving back if we're going running back here. That's why I might go with Tank, just so you get that star running back. And if it is the case, right, you got Joe Mixon, then you got Tank. It is what it is. Travion Williams has shown that he wants to become the starting running back for this team, and he wants to get that opportunity, and he's more of a receiving threat anyway. So maybe give Travion Williams more of an opportunity on those third down roles, and you just have a Tank, and you also have a, what's his name? You also have Joe Mixon. I'm probably going here. I do like Zach Evans later on. I really do like Zach Evans later on in this draft. If I'm being honest with you. Yeah, I'm going to go with third round here. I'm going with Tank. I know I just made the whole argument about Zach Evans. Zach Evans. About Zach and how I don't like him because he is that, just a bell cow back. But again, third round, I'm not as antsy about not going with someone like that. Fourth round here, I really do like Kobe Turner. I've been talking about him a lot on the channel recently. Deuce, again, not a bad option. You could even went third round. You could have went with somebody else and then just took Deuce here. It's very possible there. But I'm trying to think about how they might go or their situation they might go with. But I'm probably going best player there. I might go with Kobe Turner. He is not going to be the replacement for DJ Reader, but one day the replacement, if that makes sense. DJ Reader is 30 years old, going into his final year of his contract. They're probably going to give him a 2-year deal. Obviously, Kobe Turner is going to be eventually that replacement. I forgot KJ Henry is here. Really do like KJ Henry here. Get a nice little edge rusher off the side. Get after the quarterback. Make a huge play. While Kobe Turner is going to be a future pick for DJ Reader as like a backup with BJ Hill. Rotational piece. I really do. I'm going with KJ Henry here. I'm going edge rusher. Got to fix that defensive line a tad bit. And then we got another edge rusher I really do like here. This is going to be Fehoko? Probably going to butcher his name. But he's another really decent guy out of San Jose State Spartans. He's another really good edge rusher here. But if I'm being honest here, one trick pony. That's actually freaking horrendous to hear. I really do like this guy. I'm going Keaton Mitchell here. Yeah, I'm going Keaton Mitchell here. At the same time, just cut Joe Mixon. Just cut Joe Mixon, have Keaton Mitchell, Tank as your starter, Keaton Mitchell as your backup, and then Travion Williams. There's so many players in this draft I freaking like. And it's like, it's funny too, because it's like, yo, well, we have Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's great and all. I like Joe Mixon, don't get me wrong, but I feel like Joe Mixon at the same time go elsewhere. Alright, so I'm probably here. This is probably why I'm going wide receiver. And the guy they love so much is Ronnie Bell. They sent scouts out to scout one receiver, and that was Ronnie Bell. Give me the guy they scouted. Give me the guy that Cincinnati themselves like. So I'll take him there. Yeah, I don't mind going with Jonah here. A Jonah that's gonna be a replacement for the Jonah. Alright, so here's how my final 7th round mock draft has gone. Dalton Kincaid, 1st round. Antonio Johnson, 2nd round, safety. Tank, 3rd round. Edge rusher, KJ Henry, 4th round. Halfback, Keaton Mitchell, 5th round. Ronnie Bell, wide receiver, 6th round. And defensive lineman, Jonah, 7th round. So, let's talk about some things here. Because, first off, you get Dalton Kincaid, plus Irv Smith, right? Your tight ends are figured out. 1,000%, right? You have at that time, two vertical threat tight ends who can help you open up the field and even increase this offense even more. Whether you have Joe Mixon take a pay cut or you eventually release Joe Mixon or whatever you do with Joe Mixon, Tank is that replacement for the future of Joe Mixon. He's a bell cow back who can take over the load and be an absolute monster. Then you have Keaton Mitchell, who's a wide receiver running back, gadget-type player who can be a little bit of everything, right? And that gives you a little explosive piece out of the backfield. Ronnie Bell, if he works out, he ends up becoming Tyler Boyd's replacement. Defensive line, obviously, an extra piece there. And then KJ Henry, a really good project at edge rusher, who I think can blossom into the NFL in a very good way. And he helps bring us even closer to getting more pressure on the quarterback every single play, which last year ranked 28th against getting after quarterbacks. So definitely going to be an interesting draft. Again, like I said, there's so many different ways you can go in these drafts, and that's why whenever I do a mock draft, I feel like I'm never satisfied with the outcome. I'm like, oh, this is good, but you could go this way, you could go this way. Like, for example, every time you do a mock draft, different players are available because obviously, you never know what's going to happen. This could be how the mock draft ends up falling. Dalton Kincaid gets taken. Michael Mayer gets taken here. Where did Dalton Kincaid get taken? Where did Dalton Kincaid get taken here? Michael Mayer. Am I blind? Okay, apparently I'm just blind. Right here, Vikings, that's why. Alright, and then now, if you're in this situation, right, okay, Manuel Forbes went, which is, I'm seeing this more and more in mock drafts, and it's really ticking me off because he is the guy I really like at pick 28. If all those guys are off the board, I'm probably going with someone like Darnell Washington here. Again, like I said, here's my picks if all the guys are off the board. Darnell Washington, Gibbs, Mozzie Smith, and that's probably it at pick 28. I'm probably trading down with this pick if I'm Cincinnati in this case. But if I'm not trading down, I'm going Dalton Kincaid. My first mock draft I'm putting in for my final mock draft, but yeah, and then second round. I'm gonna change it up this time. Let's go with Tyreek here. Let's go with third round. Tank is not available. Sorry, Tank is available, but Spears is available, and he's a. I really like him. He's one of those, like, he can do a little bit of everything. And I like that. Again, you never know who's going to be available in this second round, so. Very possible a player you don't think is going to be available is available. But here, second round, though. Sorry, third round, my bad. We just did second. I'm stupid. We took the cornerback. I'm probably here then going Kobe Turner. Fourth round. I'm going running back. I might go with Deuce here. Might go with a mixture of Deuce. I kind of wanna wait on that. Like someone else I really do like. I'm going Keaton Mitchell again. This draft, then, we're gonna have what the starting player be. What's his name? We're gonna have Joe Mixon. Then we're gonna have Keaton Mitchell. Then Travion Williams. Josh Wiley in the fifth. Now you have a vertical threat in Josh Wiley with Irv Smith and Darnell Washington. If you eventually convert Darnell Washington into a different guy there. I'm probably going Trey Dean the third here. I've started to really like him when the combine first started. But actually, I'm not going with him. I'm going Quindell Johnson. I like Johnson a tad bit better. He's just better in run support. I think he'll translate better to the NFL. And then I'm probably going wide receiver with the final pick. Maybe not. Let's see what our running backs look like. Again, this is the 7th round pick. They'll probably not even make the team. Muhammad, I'll go with Muhammad. So this mock draft here, we went with tight end, corner, defensive line, halfback, tight end, safety, halfback. Not too mad about that, especially with Collins saying that he's healthy and ready to go. Offensive tackle is off my board. Me personally, that's off my board. Right now, this is how I look at it, right? On offense, quarterback's off my board, obviously. Wide receiver is on my board very late. Tight end is on my board 100%. Left tackle's off my board. Right tackle's off my board. Left guard, right guard's off my board. Center's off my board. Unless right tackle's on my board if Darnell Wright is available. Cornerbacks is on my board. Safeties are on my board all the time. Linebackers, later, they're on my board. Defensive line, edge rusher, always on my board. D tackle, always on my board. That's kind of how I look at it right now, guys. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.